Okay, that's pretty good. Hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Docs Report and my quiet, lovely, beautiful, peaceful, affordable, comfortable, golfing, and sunny retirement community affectionately known as...
Del Boca Vista?
Thank you, Frank. I'm a retired senior citizen living in Central Florida. This is my personal YouTube channel, vlog, citizen journalism account, and just about anything else I want it to be. Thank you for joining me. As a reminder, the Docs Report is an independent, self-funded, nonprofit, non-monetized, non-aligned, non-begging, informative, civilized, and semi-entertaining YouTube channel. The Docs Report encompasses citizen journalism with commentary, opinion only on topics that interest me. I'm just like global corporate media. I only report on what I want to report on. And can be found exclusively live streaming on YouTube. Short clips are available on my X account, Docs Report, a verified account on X. And we do have some people watching, thank goodness. And first we got GD. Hey, Lex, good afternoon. GD, good to see you. How dare anyone attack my moderator, GD? A lot of hate and viciousness, that's for sure. All good with you, he asks. Never, ever better, except I'm old, other than that. Let's see. Oh, really? Oh, glad to hear. I'm currently on vacation, so not really following the shows. Back to Brazil, back to the beaches of Brazil and the beauties over there. Huh? How about sending a photo of the girls on the beaches if you're in Brazil? I'll be back in a bit. At least you go somewhere. There's other people raising money for vacations and destinations they will never go to. You know who I'm talking about. What happened to the New York trip? What happened to the going to go to Chicago and ride the train back to his destination? Didn't happen. Anyway. Yeah, I know. But you know what? I can't watch. I'd rather watch the highlights. You know, once you get through the pageantry, I watched the yesterday's this morning. It's great. You can watch all the game highlights for one game, like in 10, 15 minutes. But for me to sit through the announcers and the beer commercials and all that other horse shit, no. I get it, it's just like the NFL game. Now, the NFL games were good. The Dallas game was good. Green Bay, who did they play? But it was the Dallas beat the Chiefs. That was really a good game. Now, I was at Thanksgiving dinner, and I saw Dak throw the interception at the beginning of the game, and I thought, okay, that's all I need to see. I know how this turns out because they can't come from behind. So I'll tell you more about the dinner. So, and when I left the house, I didn't know. I went right to bed. I don't know who won, and I got up in the morning, and I make sure I don't notice, so I watched the game highlights, and not knowing who had won the game. I was shocked. They looked pretty good. They got that new guy, Pickens, and he's a top tier man. I mean, he leaped over somebody, and he's big and he's strong and fast. And then Green Bay beat the Lions, was it? I think. So it was all interesting. It was great, since we're talking about NFL. And then I went to this morning. I watched I had to watch the replay. I watched the game. This was Friday. It was the Eagles playing the Bears. And it was only available on Amazon Prime, which I have. So this was great. Not the game wasn't great, but the way I had it set up. So I got on my 55-inch OLED in the living room there. I'm watching the game, and I got the sound completely off. Now, there's two guys that do podcasts. They have their own YouTube channel. So one is Philly 500. So I had him on the iMac. And then I had Joey Shakes on the left on my phone. And I'm listening to both of them. But Joey Shakes had a longer delay. When I say delay, I mean that's from the actual game. So, but it was, and I was listening to Philly 500, who was almost in sync with the game, just seconds behind it, and Joey Shakes was more. But I was listening to both of them. I like the commentary, and they're pissed as hell because this is the. It's hard to imagine they won the Super Bowl because they look completely disinterested, completely dysfunctional, and they showed the quarterback on the bench, and he's just sitting down there. He's just sitting, like, damn, don't want to be here. He's not a cheerleading. He's not. Where's the leadership? I don't know what the hell's going on. But I don't know the game as well as these two Philly guys. And I think Philly 500's in California, but he's still a Philly fan, and he's got a channel. And they're getting pissed because there's just they're getting nothing out of the Eagles. So it was fourth quarter, and I swear to God, with the TV on and listening, I fell asleep. I woke up, they had lost, and I just turned it all off, went to bed. I went to bed at 6 o'clock. Can you imagine that? 6 p.m., I went to bed. And it was going to be 42 last night. No, 45. The night before was 42, but there was no wind. Last night it was 45 with 10 mile an hour, 12 mile an hour, and gusty wind overnight. And I put the heat on 66. But guess what I got delivered on Friday? The space heater. So I had that all hooked up just for today. I tried it out yesterday, but you got to shut the door if you're going to heat up the bathroom, because it was actually heating up the bedroom too. It's the bathroom off the master bedroom. So I got up this morning, and I got up at 1 a.m. because let's see, my current bedding, I have the sheet, I got a wool blanket, a thin one, and then the top cover. But I'm losing heat because I'm like, this is kind of cold. So I get up at 1 a.m. and I put a comforter on, and then now I'm up, and then I watch something, and then I got on to let me give you the best shot I got before I start yapping. That's the best shot right there. And the flag is over. If you look at that kind of dead-looking the furthest, highest upper left bush, the flag is right there. Now it's overcast, which makes a really good photo, really good video. So I'm looking around. I check out some of the channels, and I couldn't believe what I was watching on one of them. I had to post it up on X. Anyway, I put the comforter on. I didn't get up till 6:50 this morning, and that's really late for me. I mean, I slept right through. It was great. And I look at the temperature. I got a temperature gauge in my bedroom, 64 degrees. It was cold. So I click on the heat pump, and you know what? I can heat up the master bedroom using the bathroom there. I'll just put on the space heater. And it worked, man. It heated up not only the bathroom, just to brush my teeth and wash my face, but also the master bedroom, the master bedroom. So it was fantastic. And it makes a noise, but I'm not going to play it while I'm sleeping. And then I thought, oh, shit, I forgot. I turned off the sprinkler, so I had to water the lawn, turn that on. But it was great. And then I shut it off, and now I got it set at 66 because I don't need any heat now. It's going to be like 72 in here, and the birdcage is 74. Just a wonderful day to golf, man. Just beautiful. And this is, now we're supposed to get a little rain next week. I'll give you the weather. Let's go with the weather. That's a tradition at the Doc's Report. Central Florida, Del Boca Vista, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be 22 degrees Celsius. Humidity all the way down to 44%. Wind 19 kilometers per hour. That would be 12 miles per hour. And they're out there. So that was fun. Got the heat, and they do a different trash pickup at Del Boca Vista on the holiday, so they set it out Saturday. But I go out there Friday, and there's these big pieces of styrofoam, and I can see the guy up the street, They don't know how to put out trash. They don't know how to secure the trash. So I just take him up there and jam him in his can, because obviously they both, as I was walking up there, I found another big piece, so it obviously blew down from his trash. But they got it. I don't know what time they're going to come by this morning. I'm going to keep the space heater box just in case. I got to send it back. So what do we got today? Now I apologize for my other stream, because I didn't turn off the comments, Google did. And I spent a half hour on Google support, with a person waiting on me, in the chat. You can live chat. And she, let me ask somebody, can you hold? Yes, sure. Can you show me a screenshot? Okay, I did it. Can you send me a link to your channel, the episode? Yes, I did. So I'm waiting a half hour. Towards the end, all she did was send me some guidelines. I said, can't you tell me what I did? She says, no. Well, can you turn on my comments? She goes, no. So that whatever I put in there, I'm not blaming anyone. There are people out there. There are individuals. There are those people that if they want to get you, they don't care what they get you on. They'll just get you. And they know the guidelines better than I do. But she sent me some guidelines. I think I know what it was, and I'll just have to, like the word I got up there, I got D, space, D, or alive. Because if they may not like the other word, and I may get the channel taken down. So I don't even say the word. That's how strange they are. So I think I know what I did, but I think it was me, but somebody noticed it and decided to report it. Or they ran the algorithm and I popped out. Like, hey, this guy used this word in his comments. Okay, shut it down. Shut her down. Close the comment. So, sorry about that. But they didn't, funny though, they didn't take down the stream. So it was something in the comments, just based on the comments. 11 people watching. Welcome to the Docs Report. And Central Florida, the Tucker Talk. Yeah, I'm gonna cover a little bit about that. 3i Atlas. It's so confusing now. And I'm kind of backing off Avi Loeb, because I think he's, lobbying for money, for more, research money. That's what the schools do. They want to get that research money. So I still think it's an object. It's a very strange object. And I got the latest on that. But since we're on football, I'll get rid of this. That Eagles game was just terrible. Terrible. And can you imagine? Then they did a shot of the people in the stands sitting on like cement, and you went to go to see, you paid that money to go watch that game, and you're thinking, and that's the team you support. So I don't take it seriously at all, and I don't think anybody should. I know it's your city, if it was your city, but even if there was a team in the Villages or close to me, or I just wouldn't. I'm not going to get so involved, because if they don't, it's just like the YouTube channels. If the content creator doesn't care about the channel, why should you? If that channel creator, the content creator, is not willing to put in some effort, why should you? Why should you do that? So anyway, NFL teams ranked by Super Bowl 2026 win probability. Just curious where it stands today. We're Biff Helms. Biff Helms, where are you? So the number one team, the odds of winning the Super Bowl, not just getting there, but actually winning it. Number one team, you put up $100 to win $425. It's an implied, this is off of Grok, it's an implied probability in percentages, 19%, is the Los Angeles Rams, number one. Number two, and I can't believe this from what I saw on that game, the Philadelphia Eagles. You put up $100, you win $700. Implied probability, 12.5%. Number three, Buffalo Bills. You put up $100. I'm not a gambler, so I had to look this up. What does plus 900 mean? If you put up 100, you get 900. Probability, 10%. Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know. They're on shaky ground. Number four. Put up 100 to win 1,000. If I was in Kansas City and I'd been following all the games and I'm a big booster, I'd put up $100 to win 1,000, because they still got Mahomes. No matter what happens, they have Mahomes. And I'm surprised Dallas beat them. Number 5, I'll just go quickly through the top 10. I won't give you the odds, but you get the idea. Baltimore Ravens, 6, Detroit Lions, 7, Indianapolis Colts, 8, New England Patriots, 9, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 10, Cincinnati Bengals. Now, since I follow the Cowboys, I like the drama. They're 15. And I don't have to give you the rest unless you're interested. Who's at the bottom? The New York Giants. There's your NFL talk. 2 great games. They're almost like playoff games. But that Eagles game was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's see. Before I forget, you know what I should do? I should. Okay, I was watching. Now, I think there's a pretty good. I'm not a Watch Nicholas fan, but they got the Jax and Dr. Bob over there doing their thing, which, I got up early one morning. It was kind of interesting. So I thought, instead of, what do they got up there, the mega evil corporation, that Jax and Dr. Bob, they need a name for the show. So I came up with a couple of suggestions. Let me get this straightened out here. Let's see. Okay, I can do it that way. Here we go. My first one would be Action Jackson. Now, these are just suggestions. Okay. Second one would be I thought about going on the show over there, but then, maybe Watch Nicholas. I don't, So I'll just put them here. If they run across it, great. The second one is Jax in the Box. Just an idea. It's better than evil mega corporation. Another one. Jack's in the House. And here's one. Jumpin' Jack's Flash with Dr. Bob. All right, that's not bad, is it? But I think this is the best one. Since they're being picked on all the time. How about this one? Two Good Men. Welcome to the Two Good Men live stream. And yes, we can handle the truth. Those are my suggestions for the Jackson Bob for their show. But in reality, it's it's Watch Nicholas channel. So, it's up to him. Well, yeah. Okay, Blanca 1, the Jackson 5, the Jax with an X and 5, or just the Jackson 2. Hate stream. But they don't, I thought it was good listening, actually. All right, so that takes care of that. So, I'm still drinking coffee. I made a big pot this morning. I had to finish off some coffee, so I made the whole thing. Just great. I started off the morning with, of course, I made the coffee, but I had homemade pecan pie. I put some vanilla ice cream on top of it, just a small layer. That was great. And then I had a banana dipped in walnuts and chocolate chips, and just while sipping my coffee. And then I decided, well, since we're on this, let's go all the way. So I had and I highly recommend Costco triple chocolate muffin. So I set those. I had one of those. Put the butter out so it would get a little easier to spread. Delicious. And this is my coffee. Beautiful day. Yeah, I get to stream. I'm not going to spend all that time on college football today. I can't. I'd rather do something, accomplish something, get a stream in. And mega value customer, he's here with Beavis and Butthead. I think, for me, two good men. See, that would upset everybody. That's what they should do. Two good men that can handle the truth. So let's go back. So yesterday was Thanksgiving Day. I got because I asked the granddad, he's my neighbor, okay, you got the grandfather, the grandmother, they're my neighbors. You got the son-in-law, the daughter, and their 3 children, which are like 20 years old. The average age is 20 years old. So they're not children, but they're their children, but they're young adults. So I asked him, like on Wednesday, what time we're eating, or I'll let you know. Okay, because I met the grandson the day before. I'll let you know. I think I asked him twice. So then I get an email from her, from the grandmother, and she says, okay, you can come over anytime after 3 p.m. Okay, great. I got the shrimp cooling down in the freezer, so I have these, they offer these shopping bags at one time. They only cost $1. When you don't have to have all that plastic. So I have it from Publix, Publix, and then I have, of course, my Walmart Blue. So I put them in the Publix bag so I didn't drop them, I didn't want to carry them over. So I took it over there, knocked on the door, and guess who I could hear in there? My girlfriend, the miniature schnauzer. So they didn't bring the big dog. What a treat. So I go in there, give him the shrimp, and then meet the son-in-law. He's like 50. It was great. And, of course, the kids, the girls are not saying anything. They're 20, and the grandson, they're all on their phones, or we're old people. They're at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and now we got another old guy coming over. So, but I got along with the guy pretty well. We did a lot of talking. And then Grandpa, he'll just sit there. He didn't involve himself at all. He was just happy that he had his family around him. What do we got here? Plonka, do you think the Archieverse streams in general have lost quite a lot of viewers recently? Archie was struggling to get above 80. Because he's not interested. He doesn't even have to say it. Well, he did say it.
I don't give a fuck anymore. The money's not here. Fuck off.
Now, that was at NARC, not Tanzil, that he was talking to. But yeah, I mean, he's not happy. And then, well, since you brought it up, I'll show you. I don't mind showing you, because I took the numbers on Thanksgiving Day. I wanted to know, and don't tell me I didn't load it. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Oh, wait a second. I know I did. Okay, here we go. So now this is on the Archie Show. This was taken Thursday, Thanksgiving, early morning, I believe, because I kept hearing, what's his name, Bateman said, we had a good week. So here are the numbers. Your Thanksgiving treat, if you watch my Thanksgiving show, I blacken that out so you can focus on the numbers. So last 30 days for the Archie Show was $3,890. Now the Horology Dungeon 30-day was $5,376. So I was thinking, why wasn't Archie happy about that? Because there's a lot of mouths to feed. I mean, how many employees do they have over there on the dungeon? They have Jock. I heard Jock he called Marcelo a fellow employee, so is Marcelo getting paid? And of course, you got Lux over there. He's getting paid. Bateman's getting paid. And what about Mike the Snake, the punching bag that they can have fun with? They're all getting paid. So when Archie sees that $5,000, he's got to share it. And these are gross numbers, by the way. This is not take home. So you have to do 70% of all this. So he's not happy. He's lost interest. And he admitted to being in Thailand, and now the thrill is gone, I guess, in Thailand. So he doesn't know what to do. What's he going to do? Oh, hey, Chili Badger's in the house. Hello, world. So back to the numbers. Yesterday, that would be Wednesday of this week, 206 for Archie, 460 for the Horology Dungeon. So nobody cares about Archie, the cult leader. They're not interested in him. They want to have fun. They want to take over the stream and just, basically do the Curly show or, the Dungeon show and just kind of trolling, mayhem, and whatever they want. They're not interested in Archie. If Archie goes over there and turns it into a watch show, they're going to tune out. And let's see, AC3 last 7 days, $644. And the Dungeon, look at that, $2,000, $2,247. So the Dungeon has been revived. I don't know who you give credit for that. Are you going to give Bateman credit for that, or it's just a different format? So, what was your question? Do you think Archie's struggling? Oh yeah, he's lots of viewers because the money's down and his interest is down. I think people are on to him. So, and Tanzil's not, donating that much money. In fact, Tanzil made it quite clear what his intention is.
Like I told you guys, I'm not a friend of Archie's. He's not my friend. Okay, I'm here for entertainment. I pay for it. That's the extent of what it is.
I'm here for entertainment. I pay for it. Whatever makes him, if you're getting picked on and that makes him happy or entertained, that's what he's paying for. So yeah, it is down. But then again, you look over at the, I don't think Curly's monetized. So he gets a lot of viewers, and he goes, he got 60 people overnight, and a lot of, well, let me go look. I am in the news business. Let's see, the franchise clubs is what he's currently on. There it is. So let's just look at the, turn the sound off, stop it. And I was interested because they're showing Timmy over there. And the roommate does not look happy. And there's, what's on his shirt? That's his, not the father-in-law. Yeah, that's her father-in-law. That's Timmy's stepdad. I would have loved to have that video, but Curly stops it just so he can talk and talk and talk, long-winded. So anyway, he's got 624 views. So good for him. I mean, a lot of guys are into that, right? So I think maybe the realization, Timmy, maybe the drinking. Maybe he realizes he can't live without the booze. Let's see. I think I'm going to... Anyway, back to the Thanksgiving. Everything was homemade. I mean, I was out in the couch, sitting on one end, and the son-in-law was on the other end, and we were talking just, about the cowboy, just a bunch of different stuff. Eventually, it got to financing, and, he's kind of, he's doing Bitcoin. I thought, well, but you got to be a real pessimist, I think. And I tried to, share some stuff that I've done, not that I know that much. He knows a lot more about it than I do. But anyway, as we're talking football, I'm in the, then the grandfather wanders into the kitchen, and then because all the women are in there. Even the grandmother is letting the daughter cook with her girls, just stay out of the way. But he goes in there trying to be helpful, and all of a sudden, no, Grandpa, no, don't do that. And so I look at the son-in-law, we're both smiling at each other, then he comes back out and sits down, but he's not saying anything. And I wasn't going to ask him, what the hell did you do? But it was great. Oh, it was homemade, everything. Now get this, the cranberry sauce was made from scratch. I mean, it was delicious, and I loved it. And I would spread it on some of the white turkey meat, and that's how I ate the turkey meat. And then I could smell from the living room. They had the TV on, and we had. They said, "Do you want a drink or you want some water?" No, I'll have a drink. So I noticed they had some Jameson Irish whiskey in there. I just want to taste, just a little bit in the bottom tumbler. So I tasted, and it was pretty good. But I got all this single malt Scotch. I'm not buying. I do have some whiskey in there, Irish whiskey, but it was very good. And but I could smell this like burnt sugar coming from the kitchen. I go, what is that? It was the candied yams. Oh, that was good. And I don't think anything was in the can. The only thing, they bought some mashed potatoes from Costco. Other than that, everything's in the 18-pound turkey. And so we get to the. Now it's time for dinner. Everybody, we go. Nobody's sitting down because I'm just following whatever their tradition is. I don't know. And this is a nice Catholic family, and they stood at the table, around the table, and so I just followed the lead and bowed my head, and I'll pray with them. Why not? And then after the prayer, they did the crossing, and I said to the grandfather, I'm a little rusty on the crossing because I'm an ex-Mormon, but I don't think he even heard me. And then you just took your plate into the kitchen and filled it up. And dark meat, I had the white meat, potatoes, candy yams. Of course, the shrimp I brought over was a big hit. The one tray was already gone, so I'm glad I got 2. And when I left, there was like 7. I just left them there. I mean, you could put that in an omelet the next morning. It'd be delicious, right? So, and then they had dessert, homemade pecan pie. And then they had homemade pumpkin pie. It was great. And they had rolls, and I had white wine, just great. And then when I left the house, they gave me a plate to take home. And that lasted until I got hungry on Friday, and I heated that up. It was just delicious. I probably rank that, as a kid, we'd have, you could have all the turkey you could eat and, potatoes and stuff. But as far as the layout and everything, best Thanksgiving dinner ever. That's what I said, actually. And the table layout, there was assigned seating. So, I just didn't grab a chair. They had assigned, everybody had an assigned seat. So 12 o'clock, you had the grandfather. I'm next to him at 1 o'clock. And if we keep going in that direction, then I was sitting between the grandfather and the grandson. And the next spot was the daughter-in-law. At the 6 o'clock position was the son-in-law. And off to his left, going around, were the 2 daughters, and then the grandmother was on the other side of the grandfather. But all he did, he wouldn't talk. I tried to get him into conversation. He was just grinning. He was just, I don't know. It was just like, this is my family, and this is all that counts. That I got people here, and he would get yelled at, but I guess he's used to it. I don't know. I tried to get him in the conversation. I was doing all my talking with the son-in-law, and then talking about the price of gas and what else? I take premium, because I got a turbo, and he goes, oh yeah, turbo, and I turn to the grandfather, and you got the red Corvette. What do you use? Just to get him in the conversation, and he goes, then he talking premium. It was funny. I had a great time. I hope I didn't talk too much over there. According to Mega Value Customer, it's easy to make homemade bread if you buy frozen bread dough at the grocery store. Well, I think they may have bought the biscuits. I'm not sure, or biscuit mix. I don't know. But it was a 5-star meal. I mean, they had the setting, the atmosphere. It was great. And then I think we were talking cars, and the son-in-law, well, you got that WRX, don't you park that? Aren't you afraid of... I agree with them that if people see a new car, they'll scratch it on purpose. Yeah, there are people out there that do that. I agree with that. He says, aren't you concerned with that? I know it's a Subaru. I don't care. Maybe if you got the Lexus or something else, or some of these other cars, but a Subaru, it doesn't even bother me really. But I do believe its premise. So it was a great time. I had food to take home. I got to meet everybody, and actually some of these girls. Then we started talking about AI. Now Gemini is some Google AI, and I said I use Grok on. That's what did the thumbnail, is on Grok, which is, I just go on the X account. I think at some point you're going to have to start paying for that because you kind of, and I look up the news stories too. Like that NFL thing, I just go to Grok now. But it's an aggregator. Doesn't mean it's accurate. It's just whatever they put into it. So you got to be careful with it. And he had his opinions. And then I said this other thing. I said with AI, they can get. I said I can get a picture of you and animate you and get your voice print down, and I can have you saying things that you would never say on a social platform. And these daughters were agreeing with that, and they're saying we actually had that in an ethics class. Yeah, it's unethical. I mean, you could do it as a satire, but they don't do it that way. I mean, you'll go into some of these. They have Avi Loeb saying things he's never said. So, and I don't think there should be a law. I think that should be since it's a private company, YouTube, the Google platform, they can take care of that. Just like whatever I put in the comments, or somebody put something in the comments of the last stream, it got the comments turned off for that particular stream. I had to recheck the box for this one, so I don't know what word they're looking for, or what phrase, or what in the comment. I'll just have to watch it. But I was at dinner, and I wasn't. Usually, I'll respond to the comments immediately. But after when I got home from the dinner, I go to look at the comments on the last stream, and the comments turned off. Again, I didn't turn it off. YouTube did for whatever reason. What else is in the news? And then they told me. Now, I've never heard of this operation. Let me put it in here. And I think this is how you spell it. Buc-ee's is in the news. And I go, what the hell is a Buc-ee's? Because I was telling them about Wawa. You know Wawa? Let's play that. Let's get the Wawa going. Oh, they're the Wawa boys.
Wawa! Wawa!
Where's the other Wawa? We have two Wawas.
Wawa! You give me a Wawa!
How come that won't go away? I can't get rid of the Wawa boys. There we go. So Buc-ee is in the. I said, well, how many? What is that? A service station? They go, well, it's on the East Coast, but it's they have 150 gas pumps. I go, what? Yeah, they have 120 gas pumps. Can you imagine that? So I went to and I looked up on Grok. There it is, breaking news. Buc-ee's in Ocala, Florida, which is just north of me. Buc-ee's, the popular Texas-based chain known for its massive travel centers, clean restrooms, fresh brisket sandwiches. I'm going to have to go try it out. And there's a Wawa in Ocala, so this is going to give them a run. And endless aisles of snacks like beaver nuggets, whatever that is expanding in Florida. As of November 29th, 2025, the Ocala location is in development but not yet open. Here's a breakdown of the key details based on the latest updates. The address is situated on a 33-acre parcel, approximately 1.7 miles south of west of Highway 326, near the planned I-75 interchange, which Buc-ee's has to build. They have to fund their own interstate exchange. Can you imagine this operation? This positions it as a convenient stop off Interstate 75, about 5 to 10 minutes northwest of downtown Ocala, making it ideal for travelers heading north-south through central Florida. So, 80 never calling. He's got a place to sleep and shop, and I'll have to meet him there next time. Buc-ee's. It was first approved by the county in early 2023. Groundbreaking. A ceremonial groundbreaking for the Associated occurred on February 26, 2025, led by Governor Ron DeSantis. This $100 million project, can you imagine that? Includes highway widening and a new exit to support the store, which they have to pay for, Buc-ee's. And let's see, construction progress. Expected opening now projected for sometime in 2026, delayed from an initial 2025 target due to infrastructure timelines. This store won't open until after the interchange is complete. Size detailed. Size planned at around 80,000 square feet. Massive, but no longer the world's largest. At that title went to a 75,000 square foot location in Luling, Texas in 2024. Features, expect 100 plus gas pumps. Now, I can't imagine that. And I asked him, the son-in-law, or these for recreational vehicles and for truckers, 18-wheel. He goes, yeah, it's for everything, everybody. 100 plus gas pumps, a huge convenience store with fresh food, brisket, fudge, collages with a K. I don't know what that is, collages. Branded merchandise, those famously spotless bathrooms, really. It will create about 200 jobs on site. For a Buc-ee's, with the broader project boosting 1,500 plus regional jobs, state support. Well, maybe it says here Florida invested millions in highway improvements, highlighting Ocala's role as Central Florida hub. Ocala, getting a shot in the arm. But I think for that particular interchange, Buc-ee's is paying for it. There you go. Now, they do have other Florida Buc-ee locations are Daytona Beach and St. Augustine. There's your breaking news on Buc-ee's coming to Central Florida. Comments. Go to the comments, Lex. Let's see. DW6410, I guess it's pasta. I think Patrick said he likes Buc-ee's better. I'd never heard of them. I can't imagine. 120 gas pumps? I can't fathom that. I believe they're a lot larger. Pasta, I'm a Gen X. Well, I'm not going to drive all the way. I'm not going to work out here and then drive all the way to Ocala. But I will try it on a weekend or something and go up and have a brisket and check it out. I'm a Gen X Wawa man. Grew up with them when they hardly had any locations. It was great for all of us construction guys in the early days. Wawa, that is. Well, they are a truck stop, but they're more than that. It sounds like they're just like everything. They're shopping, and they're going to have 200 employees. That's a warehouse club. This is a truck stop warehouse club. And fresh food going. Sounds like the Buc-ee's are almost like truck stops. Well, yeah. I mean, 18-wheelers can go in there and, clean restrooms and everything. I think that's cool. Something to check on. Are you serious? Don't put me on. I better not. Or Bucky the Beaver. Not a gopher, is it? Don't tell me that. Mega Value customer, Buc-ee's mascot looks like a gopher. Oh, God. I got to look that up. I may not be able to go in there. Buc-ee's mascot is what animal? Shit. It's a beaver, thank God. You had me worried there. You almost had me. It's out there. Yeah, look at the tail. There's no gopher that has that kind of tail. And they got a statue of him outside one of these places, of a beaver. Buc-ee's mascot is a beaver. The mascot's name is derived from several sources, including the company's founder childhood nickname, Beaver, like Leave It to Beaver, and the name of his Labrador retriever, Buck. The logo has also been influenced by 1950s cartoon character Bucky Beaver. Really? I don't remember that. That was before my time. Bucky, I can get a photo of that. I got to see that. Bucky Beaver. Oh, okay. I never watched it. Never heard of it. Bullwinkle and the Bullwinkle. What is it? Rocky and Bullwinkle. What was Rocky? No, Rocky was a squirrel. It wasn't a beaver. Interesting. I thought it was Wisconsin. I had the privilege of being at the first Wawa because they started here in Pennsylvania. Okay, now I got to look that up. I got to check my sources because I'm in the news business. You know what? That's something I should use on X. Grok. See that? Okay, let's go here. What state did Wawa begin in? Drum roll, please. Give pasta a prize. It began in Pennsylvania. The first Wawa store opened, you must have been a kid, 1964. Were you there? The first Wawa store opened on April 16, 1964 in Folsom, Pennsylvania, Delaware County, just outside Philadelphia. The company was founded by Graham Wood as the evolution. It's not evolution, as an expansion of the family's dairy business. Wawa Dairy Farms. Oh, that's the family dairy farm, Wawa Dairy Farms, which started delivering milk in the early 1900s in the town of Wawa, Pennsylvania. There's a Wawa, Pennsylvania, also in Delaware County. Well, now this is Grok. All right, interesting. Okay. Wawa started in Pennsylvania, and its headquarters are still in Pennsylvania. There you go. Wawa pasta was right. Look at that. Dairy farm, dairy milk. And there's ice cream. I never thought. I have to look at that. Oh, look at the golfers out there. Isn't that beautiful? I don't like the harsh when the sun's totally out. It's just a perfect day to golf. The 70s, 40% humidity, a little overcast. Perfect. Outside of Philly. Yeah, you nailed it. You know what you speak of. I'll have to go in. I know they've got their own brands of all the creamer you could imagine. But once I saw the Irish cream, I use that every morning when I'm over there. A little brown sugar, a little some other, then white sugar, one of each, 16 ounce. Speaking of coffee, I made too much today, but I got another day off. So takes care of the two news stories. Now let's see. I got some more news. Let's see. The Village's Tucker Talk. Yeah, well, that's kind of a longer, interesting guy. Okay, I have it up on X. He has some views on UAPs, but he talks so fast, and he covered. He was not focused. He was all over the place, and I realized I can't clip it. So I just put up a 15-minute, what he said about the UAPs. And the other guy is what is it? Let me see. Go back to my X account. Profile. So you go down, and I'll have to come back to this. There's something I want to play for you, too. All right, here he is. He was on the Sean Ryan show, which I guess he's an ex-Navy SEAL, an ex-CIA guy. He's a real deal. And it's a 15-minute, 46-minute clip. If you want to listen to it, but, I just said it's Tucker Carlson. Tucker Talk, UFO, AP phenomenon. He says it's all spiritual. And that got my attention. All spiritual? I don't think the spiritual world and this is such a broad topic, because there's no such thing as, there's no Christianity church. It's a broad umbrella there's many views on it. You could take any church anywhere. I don't care what it is, what branch it is. You get 10 people out. They're going to say 10 different things. So his version, he has his own Christianity. I think like everybody does, really. Because I think that's the only way to go. You got to get your own, worship the God of your understanding, because that's all you can do. And not because so-and-so said, or, my pastor said that, no, what do you say? You have to come up with something. And so the host tried to pin him down, like, what does that mean exactly? And he was just all over the place, but he says they're all spiritual. And I go, he thinks he knows what it is, and so he stopped following it. My view, I don't think the spirit world needs saucers, or, if we have recovered items, I don't think it needs that. Black cat. America's friendliest hometown, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was huge into dairy farming. Sad it's all gone, all tract housing now. Well, people got to live somewhere. So I don't think they need metallic crafts. They don't need high technology. The spirit world, and then he said something that kind of got me. He said the spiritual world is at war. No, I don't think it is. Not the spirit world. The only things at war is either we're at war with ourselves, or it's down here. It's in this earthly realm. It's not. I don't think there's problems. There's no rebellion in the spirit world. Okay. Now there's darkness. There's evil. There are demons, but they have their territory, and I think the better souls have their own territory. But if you want to go listen to it, maybe you can explain it to me, because that kind of got my attention. And then he says, I don't believe in pantheology. So he's saying, I believe, my religion is the right religion, the Christianity, whatever that is. I mean, there's all sorts of, you've got too many subsets in Christianity. The Mormons have their version of Christianity, the Catholics have theirs, the Pentecostals, Southern Baptists, on and on and on. So I don't know exactly where he was coming from, but it was interesting. And here he is. Let's show him. I'm talking about him. Let's show him. There he is, Tucker Carlson. I'd love to have him over here, but he's a high-profile guy, and I let him speak for himself. So I put the clip up on X if you want to go listen to it. Maybe you can tell me what he was talking about in his version of Christianity. I didn't get it. Here's pasta. I do think it's spiritual too. So let's say we have recovered ships, UAPs. We have recovered material. You're saying that's spiritual? See, now, there was one interesting thing I read here. It's called New Insights, James T. Lakatsky. They have a famous case, an investigated case of a farm in California or somewhere, and they're both they were skeptics, and he had his brother-in-law come over, or his brother, and he said the sky opened up and it flew in, the actual reality opened up and it flew into it and then it closed. And this guy studied physics, and he says that, how weird that was. So interdimensional, but that's not spiritual. You have the, competing theories, like they learned how to travel far distances, without, they didn't have to put all the time in to do it. Or it's interdimensional. I guess some of it could be spiritual. I think there are demons, but they don't need space. A demon doesn't need a spaceship, okay? I don't think. And what is spiritual exactly? But they spent, that's all he said on it. They went for like an hour and a half. They wanted to meet each other. It was a good talk, but I got my attention what he was saying. So I do have it up on X. And since we're on UAP, pasta, Doc's not saying for sure I'm not saying for sure, comma, anything is possible, but God said we are made in his image, so why have aliens not that it's a impossibility. So why not? And so why have aliens not? Well, made in God's image, to me, the first thing is the literal. You're made in God's imagination. You exist in God's imagination. You don't have power on your own. You're in God's mind. That's all of creation is in God's mind. God's behind all of it. Dimensional, multiverse, nothing exists. That's my belief, or what I've learned and which I think is correct. Nothing exists outside of God, whatever that is. So when you're made in his image, that's a lot of things, but you're made in his imagination. And the mind of God is also where? It's within you. That's the big secret. But Jesus he taught that to the 12 disciples. He's not going to tell it to the masses. Having eyes, they hear, see not. Having eyes, they hear not. So that's my belief. So, and this brings me back to activism. I check box the nonprofit activism for this channel, but not political activism, but activism for God. Because you don't need to beg. All you have to do is turn to God's presence within you. Let just get out of the way. Start listening instead of running your mouth. God put the spin on the electrons, created all planets, all galaxies, everything you can think of and beyond. And that same power exists within you. But you got to start listening. You're in this world, but not of it. So there's a part of you which is physical. You're not standing outside of the spirit world, or probably anything else. Because if God's within you, guess what? Everything else is too. See, correct. Just my belief. Yeah, well, that's fine. That's all you can do. At least you own it. That's what I tell people. Don't search for a religion, search for God. And, the rabbi in the New Testament, seek ye first the kingdom of God. It was either Paul or the rabbi. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all else shall be added unto you. And if you don't want to believe, that's fine. I'm not here. I don't get any, it's for you. You want to go to Tibet, you want to go to, wherever. You don't have to. You got to go within yourself. It's there, sitting, waiting. It's probably involved in your life anyway, but, when you really think about it, anything good in your life. Pastor, let me put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if they exist or not. Shocked if they don't. Well, let's say I wouldn't be surprised if they exist or not. Shocked if they don't. I would be shocked if they don't, because there's too many people. And let me show you some stuff here. Okay, this you probably can't see that very well. So let me read something let me read that to you. Not all of it, but I'll get to the highlighted stuff. Let's see, Lone Craft. Okay, here we go. I can't wait to get my eyes. I hope I get monovision so I can see better. Okay, now this is in the book New Insights, James T. Lekatsky, Inside the U.S. Government Covert UFO Program. Now he's doing this work to give over to the Defense Intelligence Agency. So he's giving them ideas what they should be doing. Okay, we should examine the various configurations if they emit signals or other clues about what they will become, when they will become visible or disappear. Equate color change to speed of the vehicles for each configuration and use that data to predict what they will do next. Look for clues about the construction materials used in each configuration. Weight and performance characteristics could provide clues. Seek the most effective approaches to replicating their structural materials and processes. Suggest which structural information would provide clues to fabrication methods. Determine what has been learned from crash debris evaluations and seek new ways to apply that information. So he just admitted there's crash materials. Okay. And this is the one that got me. Determine what has gone wrong in our attempts to fly loaned or captured craft. Well, the government's always denied that, but this is in the book. His organization, ASAP, that he founded, he was sent to head to put it together. But I looked at that, loaned. At first I thought, what, the extraterrestrials are loaning us? No, these are other countries, right? Other countries loan them because they could. If Brazil gets a craft, they're not, or, you know, who would know a bit more about it? Who would be willing to pay for it and has the expertise or, you know, the technology to examine? It would be the United States. You want to be on good terms with the United States and the CIA and whatever? Okay, we got a disc here. We'll give it to you. So they're admitting they have crash debris because he's putting it in the documents to give back to the Defense Intelligence Agency. Determine what has gone wrong in our attempts to fly loaned or captured vehicles. So $25, there I got it. They have them, you know. My belief. And we got another one. Questions. I got to look this up. Right out of the book. Page out of the book. You can get it on Amazon for $25, paperback. Trying to read like 10 pages a day, go through it. And they got some, these are like the best case examples, and they don't have any explanation. Okay, when examining this massive information base, one can see that there seems to be natural division of configurations of the UAPs that is common worldwide. This is not just aircraft. UAPs are not a Alabama, Georgia swamp, you know, Louisiana. It's a worldwide phenomenon. That means the reports are driven by observed characteristics rather than social, political, religious, racial, or other factors. If anything, these factors inhibit reporting and are not the cause. Questions yet to be answered. Where do they come from? How do they get here? They don't know. Are certain configurations associated with specific societies or geographical locations? Are any of these configurations made on Earth by them or us? They don't know. They wouldn't be so concerned if they didn't have anything or if they didn't believe in these reports. Now, these are just the craft. Doesn't mean they're biologics, but the phenomenon, the actual phenomenon, the UFO, the vehicles. Do the propulsion systems vary according to configuration? In other words, disc, cigar, you know, jellyfish. Are they protective systems common? Are their protective systems common or vary according to configuration? How do their armaments systems vary between configurations? This is what they want to find out. That's the reason ASAP was set up, to not necessarily back engineer, but what are we dealing with here? Do only specific configurations change shape on command? Which configurations have flight crews? Are smaller configurations such as orbs remotely controlled sensors? So people looking for disclosure by the feds, what are they going to tell you? They don't know. Well, they should tell us all they know. Well, I don't know if that'll ever happen. Let's get rid of that. And let's go back to the golf shot. 12 people watching, no comments. What else have I got for you? I do put stuff together, you know. Usually when I got a lot of material, you flood me with comments, but not today, which is okay. You know, that's all right. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Oh, let me find my notes here. Hang on. Okay. Oh, okay. I got them on. I got to get used to Playboard here. I put the notes. I put all my notes in the record, but they don't come over to the live shot. Okay, we covered Tucker Talk. All right, well, let's go into. I showed you the new insights, the page photos. I showed you that. While we're on it, let's go the latest, because there's so much on YouTube now. And I don't know, and even Abby Loeb is talking this morning. I'm just going to kind of ease off a little bit. I think he's going for funding, federal funding. So he has to. All right. So overview of the 3i. I put in, Avi Loeb and 3i Atlas to get the latest off of Grok. It's also known as C/2025A1. That's Grok. I didn't know that. I'm just going to call it 3i Atlas. Okay, we know all of that. It's potentially over 7 billion years old. Okay. Hurtling, okay, yeah, but we all know that. Oumuamua was 2017. Borisov was 2019. 3i Atlas has shown dramatic activity post-perihelion, including multiple jets and an unusual anti-tail. It's now outbound with its closest approach to Earth on December 19th, 2025. Merry Christmas. Let's see, there's Avi Loeb. He argues its behavior defy conventional comet models. Okay, we know that. 12 anomalies. All right, here's his latest updates as of November 29th. Loeb has been prolific, publishing daily on Medium. I didn't go to those articles. And appearing in media. His most recent post, November 28th, introduces a remarkable new anomaly. 3i Atlas trajectory hypothetically positions it to seed, in question marks, seed Jupiter with smaller probes, as if it were a mothership designed to deploy technological. How would they do that if it was 7 billion years old, right? I don't know. He speculates. Yeah, he's speculating. He explains its precise Jupiter flyby and non-gravitational acceleration, which he measures at levels inconsistent with natural comet jets. Okay, so I'm going to give it time. I'm okay. The speculation, but I want to wait until they get some really good data on it. Now, he does have a Loeb scale. It currently rates the 3i Atlas at 4 to 6, based on anomalies like extreme acceleration and jet speeds penetrating solar winds over 1 million kilometers. He predicts elevation to a 10 if related objects appear near Earth or Mars. Related objects. It's going to release some object. Christmas time, we're going to have objects? I hope not. I don't want anything affecting the S&P 500. It's very good. I am up now. Let's see, that's not me. I'm not up. Well, I am up, but let me go back to that. S&P 500. I do a scorecard. I just want to know the percentage increase. Friday, the market was open a half a day, and now it's currently up 16, almost 16.5%. Very good, very stable. And that's another thing. I had a conversation with the son-in-law, which I'll circle back to. But let me get this done. Let's see. Yeah, it's just more speculation. Let's just wait. I know he was on live today saying something, and he's kind of beating the drum too heavy for me. Okay, current status of November 29th. Now, this is ongoing observations and future prospects. It is, let's see, from the sun. It's visible to large telescopes now with Juno mission data expected in March 2026. Amateur images show stunning jets fueling debate. What's fueling the jets? Stunning jets fueling debate about the jets coming off of it. Let's see, recent post highlight urgency. Scientists warn of fading visibility while speculating on dry comet status or alien signals. Loeb's Jupiter theory trends, implications. Even if natural, 3i Atlas rewrites comet formation in ancient systems. If Loeb is right, it could signal active interstellar tech. Data collection peaks now. Expected updates from Hubble, VLT, and Galileo project telescopes. Okay, enough of that. I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see, right? I mean, what else can we do? Comments. Well, yeah, I can kind of understand that. Abby Loeb is a hog for a look at. Is a hog for look at me. Look at me. He's a sensational. I think he's after funding. That's how they get their funding. Don't forget, he just wrote a book, and he just wants to. I don't think it's more than that. Oh, he's a scientist. I respect the guy. He's got an open mind. Abby has done this in the past as well. Okay. I'm not going to. I think he's brave in a way. Something to think about. And I do believe there's a lot of people out there convinced UAPs, there's technology. Again, there's, 100 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy. One galaxy, there's 100 billion stars. How many galaxies are there? There's 2 trillion in the known galaxy. 12 people hanging in there. Thank you. What else have we got? Let's see. Got to go to my notes again. Notes. Tucker Talk. I'd love to have him on the show. Tucker, if you're listening, come on my show, please. I like that. I just like to have a conversation with you. No attacks, but I don't think, he's not going to do it. All right. Breaking news for senior citizens. Social Security payments, you get a 2.8% COLA, cost of living adjustment, 2.8% starting January 2026. My medical went from $185 a month to $202.90, so an $18 increase. That's not bad. But a lot of seniors, every little bit, because they're on a fixed income, it hurts them. And I already did the Bucky Ocala. So the Medicare is interesting, and I think that's what really concerned the son-in-law I spoke with yesterday. So I do want to play one clip, and it's Trump, but he was questioned about health care, which is really important to a lot of people. Air Force One, Trump healthcare shakeup. And I put, what if I want to keep my Advantage plan? So here in America, you got Medicaid for the poor, and you have Medicare for the aged. There's Part A, hospitalization. There's Part B, medical. Part C is the Advantage plan. And I don't know where Affordable Care Act comes in, but they got to get rid of that. But I don't know how it impacts Medicare. And then there's Medicare Part D, which is prescription plan. But if you're on Part C, which is the Advantage plan, if you want to get into an Advantage plan, which I like, if you got some resources, you got some money, you pay a little extra, but you can see most doctors, they'll take a PPO. But the HMO, they got to belong, and they generally pay less. So you get. So you be the judge of that. So how do I get the president, Mr. President, comment? Well, I don't. Pause. Hey, stranger things have happened. Ask him or his agent for an interview. I don't know. I don't even want an interview. I don't know how to interview anybody. I just want to have a conversation with him. Like, what does it mean to be a Christian to you? Because he wears that. And some people walk with Jesus. I don't know what that means. Some people worship Jesus. Some people pray to. I've never worshiped Jesus or prayed to Jesus. I'm highly appreciative, and I read the works. And he also said, that Jesus was, how did he put it, supernatural. I don't agree with that. He did supernatural things. He didn't do it himself. The Father within him, he did the work, not the personality Jesus. So, but is that part of Christianity? Maybe I'm not a Christian. I don't know. But he just said some. I would like to just talk to him about that. That's all. I'm not to defend himself. I'm none of that. It's worth a shot. You have nothing to lose. That would be awesome to have Tucker, wouldn't it? That would make the channel. Can you imagine him getting an email from Doc's Report? Doc's Report. I'm not going on some damn Gopher show. But you never know. I'm sincere about it. I'm interested in it. When it comes to God, I'm very interested in it. Okay, what was I trying to do? Let's share screen. Share screen. Doc's Report on X. Mr. President, let me make you full screen, Mr. President. And he was asked about health care. I already lost 2 people because I'm bringing him on. Well, but it's important because he gets things done, whether you like it or not. And I don't know if I'm going to like if he starts messing with health care. Mr. President.
Well, we're looking at different alternatives. I mean, I like my plan the best. Don't give any money to the insurance companies. Give it to the people directly. Let them go out and buy their own health care plan. And we're looking at that. If that can work, we're looking at that. That's sort of take it off. That's what I like. Don't give the money to the insurance companies. They go out and buy their own plan. You give the money to the people. I like it the best.
Are you planning to extend those subsidies?
I'd rather not. Somebody said I want to extend them for 2 years. I don't want to extend them for 2 years. I'd rather not extend them at all.
Will you do it?
And maybe some kind of an extension may be necessary to get something else done, because the Unaffordable Care Act has been a disaster. It's a disaster. And I said it was when it first got put in. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of Republican votes, and the Democrats voted for it. It's a Democrat plan. And the premiums are going up, and it's the Democrats' fault. But, they are negotiating with me. It's very interesting. They want to see something happen.
Who are you talking to on the
I can't tell
Democrat
you who,
side?
but we have a lot of Democrats want this plan to happen. They would love to see the money go to the people, and the people go out and get their own health care. And there would be nothing like it.
There you go. So, got my attention. Like, what do you mean give the people money directly? And I think he's talking about just the Affordable Care Act. But see, I'm not on the Affordable Care. I'm on Medicare now. I think that will remain. How it works now, my understanding is the government, the Social Security, they give, because I'm on an Advantage plan, they give the Advantage plan that I belong to X amount of dollars. For them to keep those X amount of dollars, they got to keep me healthy. That's the reason they want me, I go to the gym, I get that free, I get certain things free, and they're giving me tests in the mail and all this other stuff. So I like it, actually. So, but the son-in-law I was talking to, he's all, he's, no, you can't live your life in fear, like it's not going to be here. I mean, if it all ends, it all ends, right? I mean, but I know he's kind of in a bind about the healthcare thing because it's very expensive. If you don't get it from your employer and you go out, you cannot buy individual plans anymore. You got to go through the Affordable Care Act. And I told him, I said, listen, when I lost my job or when they closed the place, I was 62. I got 3 years to 65. And I tried to get a plan. Just give me catastrophic health insurance. You qualify for Medicaid. It's earned income. And I didn't have any earned income. I had assets. They don't care about that. I just wanted to buy a plan, like give me something that covers me for I'll pay for doctor visits or, but give me a cap of $7,500. If I need a surgery, it's not going to cost, out of pocket max $7,500 or something like, so I don't get wiped out. And you couldn't do it. It's you have to go on Medicaid. So I said, but I have assets. They don't care. So I went on Medicaid. And if you're relatively healthy, it's fine. And I had allegedly a torn ACL. Then I went to a doctor. I think I told you this story. I was going to get an injection. I said, is it going to help it heal? And he goes, no. Will it heal? No. Okay, well, I'll just stay on the Tylenol then. And then I just kind of did my rehab with it. The more I kind of moved it around, it did go away. Because I went home and I looked on the Mayo Clinic I didn't take his word on it, because he's a surgeon. He wants to cut or whatever, repair. And I didn't do it. Now, Medicaid will pay for the crutches. And I told the son-in-law that, but I applied for I wanted to see a doctor, but you have to bring in an MRI first. You have to get that first. And I said, well, I can't get it unless you authorize it. But he wouldn't see me unless I had it. So I tried to get one, and then my primary physician or my family doctor or whatever, she says, we're not going to put it in because if they deny it, they will never pay for it. That's all you can do. There's only one appeal. And if you lose that, and I think they did deny it, but you can appeal it, but if you lose it, you can never ask for one ever again. So I just self-healed, really. I mean, God's presence within me healed me. And then I paid I just waited till I got 65, and then I just paid out of pocket for my medical, because now at 65 I qualify for Medicare. So I told him about that. So anyway, we had a great conversation about finance. He knows a lot more than I do, but I could see he was worried. And so at the very end, to just kind of get out of the subject, I said, listen, I'm going to be your financial advisor. You have to work until you're 65. And he got very somber, and he looked at me and he goes, wow, let me get these words exactly. Oh, what did he say exactly? He said, that's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way. He said it 3 times. But that's the reason I played the Trump clip. If they get some kind of package for those people in between, you don't have to just go to the Affordable Care Act, which is not affordable, by the way. You could probably get, you can purchase some health. You got to get the market involved somehow, where you can purchase plans. And if you're in really bad shape, then you go on Medicaid if you don't have the money. That's the way it is, but just you don't want to go. I know the UK has standalone. What do they have? The National Health Service, and Canada's got their own, but nobody gets traded. It's terrible. 1 hour, 24 minutes. What else have I got for you? Let's see. So we covered that. Let me go back to my notes. Tucker Talk, 3i Atlas. I showed you that. Okay, we covered. Anything else? What else have I got for you? Oh, the space heater was great this morning. It was 64 degrees in my bedroom. And the bathroom off the master bedroom was even colder. I just fired it up. And then I came and turned the heat pump on, and it was just, I got the bedroom back up to 72 degrees, and I'm sure the heat pump was part of that, because heat goes to cold. So I just left the door open to the bathroom. Now, when I take a shower today, I'm going to close the door and let it run for, 10, 15 minutes. And then I'll take a shower, and that should be toasty warm. AD never calling. Sorry I'm late. Breaking news. Buc-ee's is coming to Ocala. 120 gas pumps. I can't believe it. Doc's taking care of business. Taking care, AD. Business, that's right, business. Well, since AD is here, I got to play the Wawa and Mark. So let's go back to the Wawa image. There's the Wawa boys.
Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Wah, wah. You give me a wah, wah.
I wish I could smile like that. AD never calling. Yeah, Pasta. Buc-ee's has at least 120 gas pumps. Mark is a big George Harrison fan. I just can't get my head around that. I'm going to have to go up there. And somebody was pulling my chain here. It says their mascot's a gopher. Oh, no, it was a beaver. Bucky the Beaver. I've been to some have over 200. It's amazing. So next time you drive down here, I'll meet you at the Ocala Bucky's. They're going to have 200 employees. I just can't. I mean, this is like a wholesale club, truck stop. Amazing. What did he die of? Really? AD never calling. Poor George Harrison smoked himself to death. Really? I didn't know that. I don't know. What was his cause of death? George. You know what? I'm going to use Grok for this. Instead of Google, I'm going to use Grok for this. Hang on. Let me get rid of this. Go to Grok. Let's see. Let's see. George Harrison. Cause of death. George Harrison died on November 29th, 2001, at the age of 58. He was a young man. His official cause of death was lung cancer that had metastasized to his brain. Oh, boy. He was first diagnosed with throat cancer in 1997, which he attributed partly to his heavy smoking earlier in life. He was treated with surgery and radiation and initially went into remission. In 2000, I don't want to go into that. Don't smoke. What's the lesson? You're a George Harrison fan? Don't smoke. I had a remarkable Thanksgiving. And back to that dinner, it was a Catholic family. The only Catholic, my first Catholic I ever met I was 12 years old. I got my Stingray bicycle and I pedaled all the way up to Eddie O'Brien. Now, how's that for an Irish name? Eddie O'Brien. And we made snow forts in his backyard. But I remember going inside, and I'd never seen this. There was a cross, and there was a woman, I guess it was Mary. You didn't see that in Mormon homes. There's really nothing. There's no... Now, in the Mormon church, you would, once, you go into an office, they'd have a portrait of Joseph Smith on the shelf, And the cross was really, you could see crosses, but they're more part of a graphic design. But I thought, oh, that's interesting. I was impressed with it. I mean, I just never seen that before, 12 years old. So we had the dinner, but then everybody's like, I love you, I love you. Now, his other son called in and talked to the grandson, and I love you, and I thought, wow. That was pretty impressive. I enjoyed it. It's great. Home cooking, great. Oh, George Harrison? Mark, he almost died from an attack of a deranged fan. Okay, I'm in the news business. I got to check with Grok. Was George... let's see. Yeah, you want to be famous? You really want to be famous? No way. I enjoy my anonymity. Yes, George Harrison was attacked by a fan in a violent home invasion. Well, that's a crime. That's not a fan. That's a criminal. On December 30th, 1999, at around 3:30 a.m., a 33-year-old man named Michael Abram broke into George Harrison's home, Friar Park in Henley on Thames, England. And he was obsessed with the Beatles. Okay. And suffered from paranoid schizophrenia. Believed the Beatles were witches and that George Harrison was possessed by the devil. He was convinced he was on a mission from God to kill... Okay, enough of that. I don't want to know anymore. He's a nutter. Mental case. Shouldn't call Bucky's a truck stop. Uh-oh. Reprimanded by AD never calling. Shouldn't call Bucky's a truck stop. No trucks allowed. It's for family. No, I talked to the son-in-law at the Thanksgiving dinner. I said, well, can you fuel 18-wheelers? He said, yeah. Everything. Recreational vehicle, 18-wheelers. But no trucks allowed? Well, we'll see on that. I'll give you a first-hand report. Yes, I did. I had to beg to get it. a red one. I got my Stingray, I can't remember. I was 12 years old. I could do wheelies, and I got really good on it, and spinning the tire around. And I remember taking it around the block, and the other, one of our buddies, his dad came out. Now, I made the mistake of leaning on his car, and he goes, "What are you doing? Don't lean on my car." He really kept it immaculate, which is funny because then one of the other neighborhood kids bought it later on and crashed it, into the hillside. It could still run, but I thought if this guy was still alive. He passed away. Now, that was an interesting way to go. He worked at the air base, and he drank some homemade, they had something homemade alcohol, and it was methanol. He died from the methanol. Very strange. Anyway, he said, "Let me get on my son's bike, and let's see if you can beat me." Because I had a shorter gear sprocket, so I could really accelerate fast, but I couldn't go the long haul, so I beat him in the race. I remember that. It was a short distance, though. I had an Apple crate. Not a bicycle? You had an Apple crate with wheels? Yeah, hard times. The news, check Grok business. It's an aggregator. It's good, but you can't completely trust it at all, The real fear is if that becomes the arbitrator, then that's the problem. It's great to do the images. That's how I did the images on this thing. The caricatures. I just put it in a Grok and let it build it. Nice, Mark. I say for 2 years to get a Continental 10-speed. Oh, yeah, there was those guys, those hot shots with the 10-speed. I remember them. And I got a bicycle in the garage I haven't taken out yet. All right, now I got to check this. Let's see. Let's go back to George Harrison. We're going to change the question. Will Buc-ee's apostrophe S in Ocala allow 18 wheelers? No. Really? 120 gas, so they just want the recreational vehicle. Then, okay, I stand corrected. It's not a truck stop then. Buc-ee's in Ocala will not allow 18-wheelers to park. Buc-ee's enforces a company-wide policy prohibiting 70 semi-trucks, including 18-wheelers, at all locations, including the upcoming Ocala site, due to parking lots and driveways designed only for passenger vehicles. Signs at entrances state no 18-wheelers. And the policy is strictly enforced, even for bobtail trucks without trailers. This has frustrated truckers who note that semis deliver Buc-ee's goods, but exceptions are limited to supply trucks. The Ocala location is under construction and expect to open in 2026 with 750 parking spaces. 750! Ah, man, for cars. 11 for RV buses and diesel stations, but no semi-truck parking. If you're a trucker, nearby truck stops like Pilot or Love's along I-75 are better options. There you go. I stand corrected. It's not a truck stop. It's so much more. It's not a truck stop. I stand corrected. Yeah, Continental later. I know, you're a kid. It was such a big deal because at that age, I had transportation. At 12-year-old, I could go across town. It was transportation. I was more excited by that 10-speed than any car I later owned, including BMW. Let's see, when I was in grade school, 12 years old, they gave me my first bicycle, and it was just a regular old bike. I took a blue bike, I remember that, and I took it up to school. It was stolen the first day. I never got another one. We didn't even discuss it. I don't know why. I didn't ask for another one. It was just stolen. The first day of school. But later, I guess I got a little more mature. I was 12. And that's probably a good thing it got stolen. I probably would have got killed on it because I don't think I was mature enough to ride a bicycle, really. I just verified it. You are correct. 80 never. Trust me, no trucks allowed. Only cars, buses full of people. Can you imagine? I'm going to join the travel club. I've decided here at Del Boca Vista. So I'm going to be a member of the computer club and the travel club. I may suggest that. Why don't we go to Buc-ee's in Ocala in the bus? I wonder how many seniors would go for that. They'll probably look at me like, they'll probably throw me out of the club. But that would be crazy. I'd love to film that. And then I could have my hands free. I could film it. Oh, Apple Crate was a Schwinn? Oh, I never heard of it. Okay, hang on. What am I going to do? Let's see. Image of a Schwinn Apple Crate. Preparing image. Did you have the basket on it? Did you have a basket on your bike? This is showing a basket. $12.80 by $7.20. Preparing image. See, I do some work on this show. I don't just beg for money, send money now, and have somebody else run my graphics. Schwinn. It's not a bad. It's got handbrakes and stuff. It's not bad looking. Take a photo of that. Here's another one with a basket. Oh, this is a girl's bike, so I won't show that one. Let's see. Get rid of present or invite. I want to image file. There it is. Let's open that up. Add to stage. That's not a bad looking bike. Now that would be great. I'd rather have that than a 10-speed back in the day. It wouldn't accelerate as quick as my Stingray, my Schwinn Stingray, but that would be great to go across town and everything. In fact, I wouldn't mind owning that now, to tell you the truth. Does that look familiar there, Mark? Oh, let's go back. Apple Crate with a Schwinn. Apple Crate with a Schwinn model docs. Okay, I believe you. I never heard of it. Sorry. What's the latest drama, docs? Ask Mookie like Cookie. The latest drama is people are picking on GD, my moderator. There's always drama. That's drama sells, right? I don't have any drama here. Have I done any drama? I haven't done any drama. I don't think. Apple Crate inspired by Easy Rider. That didn't look Easy Rider to me. 80 never calling Buc-ee. I'm sorry I called it a truck stop. I hereby apologize to all the Buc-ee fans out there. I called Buc-ee's a truck stop. I was incorrect on that. I take it back. I pretend I never said it. 80 never calling Buc-ee's is for families. They also allow tour buses full of people. I'm going to suggest that to I'm going to see what kind of reaction I get. I go to my first Del Boca Vista Travel Club. All right, the session now in order. Buc-ee Travel Club, the president, vice president. New business. Where'd you like to go this year? I'll raise my hand. Buc-ee's, what do you call it then? Just Buc-ee's? I want to go to Buc-ee's Ocala. See, they'll probably show me the door. Well, I'm not a historian. Mookie, I feel like the question requires time frame since the drama can change so quickly. It's a new business. Well, I did. I gave, the drama is always with the money. Just follow the money. For instance, the horology dungeon is surpassed the AC3 Live. They're not interested in the cult leader, the beast of Brisbane, or his watches. They're interested in having fun on the dungeon. So why is the leader so depressed and detached? And because he's got to share it. He's got a lot of employees. He's got mouths to feed. He's got employees. How many employees does the dungeon have? Multiple. Bateman, Jock, I guess Marcello, a Lux Report. The list goes on and on. So there's some drama for you. It looked like a chopper design. Apple Crate looked like a chopper design. I don't know. I think it's not a bad looking bike, really. For sure. I guess you're a little older than me, Mark T. I missed the crate bike, says AD Never Calling. Yeah, I never heard of him either. He's only, I think Mark's 50, in his 50s. Similar. Well, you want? I'll tell you how he feels exactly. This is how he feels. He feels this way.
Dude, I don't give a fuck anymore. The money's not here. Fuck off.
Well, you always got friends. You got Tenzil. He's a friend, isn't he?
Like I told you guys, I'm not a friend of Archie's. He's not my friend. Okay, I'm here for entertainment. I pay for it. That's the extent of what it is.
AC3 hates free money. Bateman and Puck, the bad elf, stole Christmas. Puck, is he getting paid too? AD Never Calling. Bateman's been making AC3 some money. You're right, but he doesn't. He wants tributes. He doesn't want to pay employees. He doesn't want to share that. 50% shakedown, says Mookie. Does he look like he's getting paid, Puck? Well, I don't want to pick on him. And he said some things he shouldn't be on. Well, you wouldn't. If people really got some problems, they shouldn't be on. Okay, so back to this, the profile. Okay, 13 people hanging there. No shortage of problems around these parts, but you got to have a positive attitude in life. Like the son-in-law I was talking to, you can't. I told him that. You can't. I mean, I've heard, he's again, that we'll never make it. There's going to be collapse here eventually with the government. I said, but I heard this since 1972. I graduated high school. 20% interest rate. Okay, energy crisis, and then lo and behold, there was fracking. But you got to have, if you really believe that, then why invest? If you don't believe there's going to be a future, and I don't. You got to invest. You got to save money. And invest somehow in something you understand. But don't go into Bitcoin. Don't put it all in Bitcoin. Don't do it. Don't do it. But he does. He's not all of it, but he's aggressive. He says, I have to be aggressive. Okay. Interesting evening. I was a great time. And then they gave me a plate to take home with me. They gave me the whole drumstick. I love the dark meat. And I got mashed potatoes, green beans, dressing. I had some homemade cranberry sauce from scratch. It was delicious. So Friday I got a little hungry. I heated it up. All gone. Perfect meal. Perfect meal. I think I've showed you everything. Let's see what else we got. Watch Nicholas doesn't need the money. He cares about it, but he doesn't need it.
I don't need the money from the fucking super chats.
Just reminding me of that when he gets upset you don't send him money.
I don't give a fuck about the super chats. From the super chats, from the little $5 here, the $10 there, it doesn't fucking matter. No, I don't need that money.
Oh, okay. Stephen L., top reporter. What now? I looked for that. I didn't see that. I did look. He's still there. Stephen L., hi, Docs. Are you still following the timepiece, gentlemen? I checked recently. He doesn't get out till 2028, is what the federal prison says. I heard from another channel. You can't believe other channels. You come to this channel. I'm in the nude business. I heard from other channels that he may be getting early release. I wonder if Grok follows. Anthony, William, Ferrer. Will Anthony William Ferrer be given early release from federal prison? Searching the web. Oh, wow. They got an article here, or they got information on I'm surprised they even know who he is. Anthony William Ferrer, known online as the Timepiece Gentleman, was sentenced in late 2025 to 70 months, approximately 5 years and 10 months in federal prison after pleading guilty to 1 count each of wire fraud and mail fraud. He defrauded over 40 victims out of nearly $5.7 million through his luxury watch consignment business in Beverly Hills, California, by selling clients watches without their knowledge, pocketing the proceeds, and lying about the items still being available for sale. Ferrer has been in federal custody since his arrest on November 7th, 2023, meaning he receives credit for roughly 25 months of time served as of November 29th, 2025. Federal inmates can earn up to 54 days of good time credit per year. Oh, okay. For good behavior, potentially reducing his remaining sentence by about 15 to 20% if he qualifies fully. But you know what's going to get him? Probation. When you get out, you're on probation. He has never successfully completed any probation that I'm aware of. This would project a full release, excluding any halfway house or supervised release, sometime in mid to late 2028, assuming no other factors. So he's still in there till 2028. Good time behavior. There is no public information indicating that Ferrer has applied for, been granted, or is likely to receive early release via compassionate release under 18 U.S. Code, blah, 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 which requires extraordinary and compelling reasons, such as a terminal illness, severe medical conditions, or age-related frailty. None of which appear applicable based on available records. His case is recent, and such motions are rare for non-violent, white-collar offenders without qualifying circumstances. He will also face, underline this, he will also face a separate restitution order, amount to be determined, and 3 years of supervised release afterward. Now, you don't think he's going to be drinking or doing something after in those 3 years. In summary, early release is not expected at this time, and he is projected to serve the bulk of his sentence. There you go. For further updates, check the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. Docket case number, I could go check the court docket, but no, I don't think he's going to get it. Uh-oh. Docs. Okay. 1973 Schwinn Apple crate. $1973 Schwinn. How did you spell Schwinn? Yeah, 2 N's, right. Schwinn Apple, Krate. So image of 1973 Schwinn apple crate. Preparing image. Oh, it looks like a modified. Did you? Well, this is. Oh, I want a 12 by 80 though. Let me make that 12 by 80. Did you have all the accessories, the front basket and the rear, the double seat? It has two images here. 1280 times 720. I don't know if I would need those accessories. The basket would be kind of convenient. Image, okay. I put in image of a 1973 Schwinn apple crate, 1280 by 720. They got a couple of versions here. I didn't ask for, I like it. I'll show you one of them. You tell me. So, let me get rid of this. Remove from studio, and let me get rid of, remove docs report. Stop screen. Present video file. It's not a video. Image file. I think I already showed you that one. All right. Is this close? And you can strap your books on the back, in the front. Not bad. What do you think? Is that it? Oh, you got the bike secondhand. Okay. Rufus. I look forward to making. Sammy? I think Wawa comes, they have a wrap of that. I look forward to making a Thanksgiving Sammy. I put everything served in between two pieces of bread, turkey, sweet and regular potatoes, cranberry and stuff. Okay, everything. Well, it's not close. You don't like that. Okay, well, maybe I have to go to Google then. Apple crate. Well, did you have like the big double seat? It looks like a big Stingray. Did you have that one? Because this looks like a modified Stingray, Schwinn Stingray. Okay, this is from the Museum of American Speed. Did it have a shifter on it? Did you have that one? Oh, this is highly modified. Schwinn apple crate. And then they have the classic. They have the classic Schwinn. Let me drag that over. Okay, let me get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. I got to satisfy the audience here. Get rid of that. Remove from studio. I'm going to do another image. A JPEG file. Oh, what about that? Huh? Is that close? That looks like a modified, hopped up Stingray. 73. See, the Stingray I had was 66. Yes, a shifter, he says. Okay. Okay, there it is. Small wheel in front. There it is. Well, no, I put it in Grok. I asked Grok to do it. That's the reason. Now, this is off of Google. Yes, a shifter. No, Schwinn Typhoon with roof. Uh-oh. Dirk's here. Dirk's a troublemaker. He's a big troublemaker. Old Boomer. Dirk Diggler. Lex, that bike makes you look like old Boomer. Don't get it twisted. Mark T, it has finally happened. I know more than the internet. Well, you do more than grok. What about it? Okay, every 80 never calling. Yes! That's got to be it, Mark, right? There it is. The childhood bicycle of Mark in New Mexico. Look at him. Bring it back, memory. Yeah, baby. You could get a girl on the back of that thing. I had no idea. AD never calling. Hello, Dirk. Can I confirm you're still funny? You think Dirk is funny? All right, what else have I got for you? I wish I could play Born to be Wild, but then I'd get a copyright strike. Let's go back to... Well, I didn't know what you were talking about, but yeah, you're right. Now, because you mentioned Easy Rider, and I thought, well, Easy Rider? No, Peter Fonda model, yeah. Did you have long hair, too, when you rode this thing? The Peter Fonda model, laughing. Blondie will dig you with that bike, Lex. I think she already digs me. She brings me up once in a while when she's on the... Where was she lately? The Curly show. The Curly overnight stream. All right, enough of that. Enough of that. Beautiful day. Oh, what's the weather now? 71 degrees. It dropped a degree. That would be 22 degrees Celsius. Humidity 47%. Wind 18 kilometers per hour would be 11 miles per hour. Beautiful day. I like it because all the growth is slowed down. You don't have to do the hedge. The hedge is holding up. I love the cloudy weather for the stream anyway. It gives it a nice clean look. Mega value. I don't want to. I did do an effort. It's just you just go look at a. Well, I don't know. Let's try. Let's see. 19. I think it's the first year it probably came out. Schwinn. Stingray. Red. White seat. I later switched out the seat to a red one. It did have the. Yeah, you're right. It did have the banana seat. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that's it, right? I didn't have the high. Did I have the high handlebars? I don't remember now. Long ago. Long ago. I don't. Boy, my memory is not. I think it did have the long handlebars. I think. Yeah. Well, it came out in, this says 1963. How old was I when I got it? I think I was 12. A fenderless Stingray. Did I have fenders? No, I don't think I had fenders. So this probably would have been it. Let's have a look. Dirk claims to be in the Bahamas. Show us a photo. No, never mind. Let's see. Present image. There it is. I think that's it. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it had a banana seat. It was red, white seat, and yeah. That's the bike. There's no gears. There's nothing. There's your picture of the Doc's bicycle. Raining in the Bahamas. Dirk claims to be in the Bahamas. Get your pedals running, head out on the highway. Born to be Wild. I don't remember that bike at all. No, your current bicycle. You want my current bicycle? It's in the garage. I don't know if I saved a shot of it. You'd think I would. Haven't you ever seen it? Okay, I know. I can't remember what the brand was. Bicycle. I got to search my computer for bicycle. Bicycle. There's my file. It's filed under Documents, Document Keeper, Gear, Bicycle. Okay, now I can find it. So let's start over. Let's open up Finder. Document Keeper, Gear, Bicycle, Trek. Let's make a copy of that. Duplicate. Okay, I'll drag it out here. Here we go. Let me load it up. This is the VERVE 2. Hang on. Disc, low step, lithium gray, Gen 4. Now, as a senior, I like the step through. There it is. And I went out there and my tires were completely flat. So I put air into it. And I don't want to take a fall until I get my eyes fixed. It's got a lot of gears on it too. But I think it's easier to step through. I'm less likely to fall with this thing because you can immediately, put your legs through it. So this is a senior citizen version. I went from the Stingray, acrobatic small Stingray, to the Trek. There it is. That's my current bicycle. Mark T says Schwinn was the GM of bicycles, neither company as they were. Oh, Justin Forge is here. Oh, welcome. Fastback Mach 2 was my ride. Hi, Docs. Hey, Justin Forge. Now, who made that? I guess I got to look that up. Let's see. What the hell is it called? What'd you call it? The Fastback Mach 2 bicycle. Bicycle. Well, that's another a Schwinn knock. Well, man, this thing had a wow. The Fastback Mach. You didn't really have one of these, did you? Let me drag this over. Hang on. Let me get rid of some of these bicycles. Remove from studio. Remove from studio. Image file. Not that one. Oh, this thing. I just can't see you on this. Is that the one? Justin Forge. Fastback Mach 2. That was my ride. Boy, that's got. You got your speeds. You got what do they call those handlebars? The high-rise handlebars and the seat. In Canada, Mach 2 says very cool. Oh, Morty's Diner is here. Let's say hello to Morty. There he is, Morty. The days when car engineers had that. Well, we're talking bicycles here. But you're talking cars? There is a Mach 2 bicycle. The topic was bicycles, not cars. How dare you? Oh, we got golfers out here. I got to keep an eye on these guys. They're right in front of the house. Oh, okay. You were talking bicycle. Okay. Well, I just put a photo up here. Mark is going. You're in the past, Mark. Days when car engineers had the sensibility of a 13-year-old boy. Sorry, I thought you meant Ford. No, they were doing bicycle talk. Again, the Stingray wasn't my first bicycle. The first bicycle, it was a blue Schwinn, like a regular, just a standard bicycle. I took it up to school. Day one, it was stolen. Never saw it again. So I had to beg for it. And I never discussed it with my parents. And I think they realized I was too immature to really, I don't know. We just never talked about it. But as I got older, I wanted that Stingray bicycle. So I was thinking Ford. Chili Badger. You have a bicycle? In the UK, Rally Grifter and Chopper were kings on the road. That's it, baby. That's it. Now, can you see a young Justin Forge on that? Riding up and down the street, checking out the girls. Boy, it looks. My standard Stingray was nothing, but I could do wheelies. I remember I used to sit back on it, and then I would like do circles, backward circles, and just have the front wheel would be spinning all the way around. Chili Badger, that's a Chopper. That's cool. 80 never calling. Hey, Justin, that was a cool bike. Yes, it was. What are we? 2 hours, 10 minutes? Are you kidding me? I think I covered everything. Really? Justin Forge, we went shopping for my dream bike, a Stingray. Then I saw the fastback and fell in love with the fastback. Fell in love with the fastback. All right, there it is. What are we doing here? What is going on the hill? Anything on the hill? No. I like the overcast days when it's when I'm doing a show. And then as I got older, I always had the bicycle under the carport. But then you reach a certain age. I don't want to be on the Stingray anymore, right? I'm done. I can't look up any more bikes. 80 never calling. I got a Huffy Red Hot for Christmas when I was 7 or 8. See, that's probably when I got my first bicycle. It was stolen. It had a 3-speed shifter in the crossbar like that. They later outlawed those shifters because kids were having accidents and damaging their jewels. Ugh. All right, 2 hours, 11 minutes. I think I've covered everything. Let me go to my notes. My show notes. Did that. I really enjoyed that Thanksgiving dinner. I'm going to run I took a plate from there, so I'm going to run it through the dishwasher when I take it back to him. And I was so happy the girlfriend was there, the miniature schnauzer. And she got all excited because the girls, the daughters, these are like 20-year-old, 18, 20-year-old. They take it out for the walk, and she comes back, and then I'm standing up. And she's just, they talk. They they're not barking. They're just kind of trying to talk. And I asked the grandmother, what is she saying? She goes, she's just excited. Yeah, for the record, Justin Forge in Canada. AD, yeah. By the way, I always wanted to thank you for turning me on to San Martin. Awesome watches. Bang for the buck. Value shopper. Yes, value shopper. And this is not a watch channel, by the way, even though it could be a watch channel. I mean, we could make it into a watch channel if you wanted to make it a watch channel. Let's see. Let's make it a watch channel. Hang on. Let me get the appropriate music. Let's make it a watch channel. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Get rid of that. Comments? No comment. Let's see, 80 never calling. Oh, well, thank you. 80 never calling. This wasn't just a news repost of the week in news business. It was an interactive, on-the-fly news report. Bravo, Docs. I'm excited to drive up to the Buc-ee's. 120 gas pumps. Parking lot, 750 people. 750 car slots. 200 employees. So it's just a Buc-ee's. You wouldn't know. So I don't know what, it sounds like a wholesale club with an extra large gas station. Coming to Ocala. Okay, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. 2 hours, 14 minutes. You never calling. My pleasure, Justin. I just got one delivered yesterday. It's like a Starbucks Submariner, but on a Jubilee bracelet. $214. Seems more like a Rolex than a Rolex. Value shoppers are attracted to the Doc's report. I had to run into Walmart Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving. I had to ship off some knives to have sharpened, and I haven't found my big roll of tape, so I had to buy another. Anyway, I'm over there. And this is like before 7 in the morning, and it's starting to get crowded, and they're playing the Christmas music. Christmas officially starts the day after Thanksgiving. They had the Christmas music going, which is okay, but I just wanted to get in there and get out. All right. Any final words here? What do you got to say, Archie? Anything, Archie?
Dude, I don't give a fuck anymore. The money's not here. Fuck off.
Tanzil?
Like I told you guys, I'm not a friend of Archie's. It's not my friend. Okay, I'm here for entertainment. I pay for it. That's the extent of what it is.
Shelley Berman?
Nobody goes on forever and ever and ever. And I'm not going to go on.
Watch Nicholas.
I don't need the money from the fucking super chats.
Can you clarify that?
I don't give a fuck about the super chats. From the super chats, from the little $5 here, the $10 there, it doesn't fucking matter. No, I don't need that money.
There you go. Let's see. Well, I was told at Thanksgiving dinner, the store managers get $150,000. That would, if I were to, I don't think the granddad would like to hear that. He's 80 never calling. Docs, make sure you look at the wages. How would you find out the wages? Bucky pays. They start at $30 an hour. Well, let's see. Costco's, they start at 20. I think. Well, I can't remember now. I know they pay more than Wawa, so some people left Wawa to go over to Costco. But do you need a membership for Buc-ee's? That would make it a wholesale club. Do you need a membership to get in? Docs, make sure you look at the wages Bucky pays. They start at $30 an hour and go up to $250,000 for store managers. And maybe that's Texas. Amazing. What a mess. What a mess. I enjoy that G-Shock. I mean, that's getting to be really growing on me. It's a large, for an older senior citizen. I like the large dial, and I can even see the window, the digital window on the thing, and the whole dial lights up too. It's got a light button. I want one of those. This is a Pro Trek. It's a Casio Pro Trek. It's technically not a G-Shock, but because it won't take. But it's made for outdoor. It'll take but it's not like a G-Shock though. It doesn't get that title. Either the high resolution MIP screen. Are you kidding? Oh, I got to go up there. I got to check this out. 80 Never Calling. They post the wages on every gas pump. What? No membership, says AD. I'm going to tell that to the travel club. My first. I'm going to go to one of their meetings, and they're going to welcome me as a new member. Where would you like to go, Lex? Let's get a trip up to Bucky's, the new Bucky's. I think that's the way to go, because if I'm going to take filming gear, like if they go anywhere really, I'm going to see how they go, see how it works. I'll go on a 2-3 day trip somewhere. I don't, something like on one of the beaches or something. They got the meals all laid out and everything else. I wouldn't mind going. I think that's better than just driving by myself. Go with some people. No membership. Lex, I don't recommend you working directly with the public. Just saying. I get along with people. What do you mean? These are just released. The watches. Okay.